The series begins with a tunnel being dug between the US and Mexico. At that time, a man is digging it to send drugs to the Galindo Cartel, the biggest drug group controlling illegal trade on the border. Not far from the tunnel, EZ, a young man who used to be a smart college student, is just getting out of prison. He was locked up for a crime he didn't mean to do. Now, EZ goes back to his hometown, San Padre, in California, close to the Mexican border. There, he tries to start a new life by joining the Mayan Motorcycle Club as a new member, or a prospect, which is the lowest rank. As a prospect, EZ has to prove himself to the other members, especially to Bishop, the club president, and to his older brother, Angel, who is already a full member. EZ's life is now very different from his past. He was once a bright student with a scholarship to Stanford University, but everything changed when he went to jail for accidentally killing a police officer in a shootout. Now, EZ has to live in a world filled with violence, loyalty, and betrayal as part of the motorcycle club. The scene shifts to Miguel, the leader of the Galindo Cartel, who controls the Mexican border with a strong hand. Miguel works with the Mayan Motorcycle Club to smuggle drugs. His cartel is known for being cruel and ruthless, but a new threat comes from a rebel group called Los Olvidados, led by Adelita, a young woman who hates the Galindo Cartel because they killed her family. Los Olvidados is a group that fights for the poor in Mexico. They use sneaky tactics to attack the cartel, mess with their operations, and steal money and drugs. They even pulled off a big attack on one of the cartel's trucks, taking $1 million worth of heroin and cash. At the same time, EZ is trying to get used to his new life in the motorcycle club. He sometimes thinks about his past, especially his ex-girlfriend Emily, who is now married to Miguel. Emily's life has completely changed now that she's the wife of one of the biggest cartel leaders. This bothers EZ because Emily is someone he once loved, but he had to let her go when he went to prison. EZ didn't completely want to join the motorcycle club. In secret, he works as an informant for the DEA, a group that fights against drug trafficking. EZ is forced to work with a secret agent named Kevin, who is a distant relative. Kevin helped EZ get out of prison, but only if EZ agreed to give information about the Galindo Cartel. This puts EZ in a tough spot because he has to balance his life in the club with being a secret informant for the police. One day, as part of his duties as a prospect, EZ and other members, including his older brother, are told by Bishop to help escort a drug shipment for the Galindo Cartel. The shipment has illegal drugs that are supposed to go to a buyer in the US, but on the way, the group is attacked by Los Olvidados. At that time, the rebels steal the shipment, making Miguel furious. He promises to find the rebel group and destroy them. On the other hand, the Mayan Motorcycle Club, which relies on the Galindo Cartel to survive, is now in trouble because of the stolen shipment. Their failure means they could face serious punishment from Miguel. And EZ, with his sharp memory, tracks down one of the Los Olvidados members who attacked them and finds a clue. But this only makes the conflict between the cartel and the rebels worse. Meanwhile, Angel, who has a secret relationship with Adelita, the leader of the rebels, starts to feel the growing tension in the club as the Galindo Cartel begins to lose trust in them. Meanwhile, Emily is trying to adjust to her life as the wife of a cruel cartel leader, Miguel. Even though she doesn't agree with the violent things Miguel does, she feels like she can't do much, especially since she lives a luxurious life as his wife. Miguel is known for being ruthless and harsh, but he tries to be kind when he's with his family, especially with their young son, Cristobal. Because of this, Emily tries not to question what her husband does as the leader of a drug cartel. On the other hand, EZ feels more trapped between two worlds, which being a prospect in the Mayan Motorcycle Club and secretly working as an informant. His relationship with his older brother, Angel, gets more complicated because Angel starts to think that EZ is hiding something. At the same time, Miguel sends his men to capture and execute one of the Los Olvidados members as a warning to the rebel group not to interfere with the Galindo Cartel. Miguel also puts more pressure on the Mayan Motorcycle Club to make up for the drugs that were lost in the attack by Los Olvidados. This leaves the Mayans in a tough spot, trying to deal with both the Galindo Cartel's demands and the increasing threats from the Los Olvidados group. In the middle of all these problems, Bishop, the leader of the motorcycle club, tells all the members to work hard to find the drug package that was stolen by Los Olvidados. He He knows that keeping a good relationship with the Galindo cartel is really important for the club's survival. If they can't recover the missing drugs, they will face serious consequences from Miguel. The next day, the members of the Mayan Motorcycle Club are guarding another drug package for the Galindo cartel when they are attacked by masked robbers. The club members try to warn the robbers that the drugs belong to the dangerous Galindo cartel, who are known to be ruthless and won't hesitate to punish anyone who crosses them. But the robbers don't care and even threaten to kill the club members. Bishop and his men are forced to give up their weapons and let the robbers take the drug package. During the robbery, EZ notices a tattoo on the hand of one of the masked robbers. Before leaving, the robbers shoot the tires of the Mayans' motorcycles. Suddenly, a car catches on fire, and EZ sees his friend trapped inside. Without wasting time, he rushes to pull his friend out of the burning car to save him. The next day, the members of the Mayans Motorcycle Club met with Miguel to tell him about the robbery they went through. There, Bishop and his men explained that they had no idea who attacked them because the robbers came out of nowhere during a delivery. Miguel didn't believe them and thought there was a traitor in the club. Bishop quickly denied this, saying that none of his members would ever betray them. During the meeting, EZ spoke up and mentioned that he saw a tattoo that said BTT on one of the robbers. So, BTT stands for Best Town Trip, a gang outside of San Bernardino that deals with drugs and runs a prostitution business. After hearing this, many didn't believe EZ because the BTT gang was thought to be too scared to mess with the Mayans. Miguel, however, was very upset because he lost 12 kilograms of drugs in the robbery. He ordered the Mayans to find the robbers and warned that if they didn't catch them by the next day, he would kill one of the Mayans members. After Miguel left, Bishop hit EZ for speaking in front of Miguel without permission. A little later, some members of the Mayans Motorcycle Club are sent to help Creeper, who got hurt during the robbery. They enter a secret tunnel that the cartel uses to smuggle drugs from Mexico to the U.S. Creeper is treated by a doctor who the club trusts. Meanwhile, Angel and some friends go into a bar, while EZ is told to wait outside. While waiting, EZ sees some kids about to get beaten by a bread seller because they were caught stealing. EZ quickly steps in and pays for the bread to help the boys. Right after that, Adelita shows up and tells the boys to leave. On the other side, Marcus, the leader of the Mayans Motorcycle Club in America, visits Mexico to meet with Bishop and the other members. Later, Gilly, a big member of the Mayans, comes out of the bar holding a bag, which he puts on his motorcycle seat. At the same time, EZ accidentally sees Emily near the bar, which makes him remember when she visited him in prison. Back then, EZ never responded to Emily's letters. He told her that he had lost his future and chose to end their relationship. Emily looked sad, and before leaving, she showed EZ an ultrasound photo, revealing that she was pregnant with their child. Later, at the club base, EZ introduces himself as a new member to Marcus. Marcus then orders EZ to wash all the motorbikes while the main members hold a private meeting. During the meeting, Riz, a long-haired member, asks Angel if EZ really saw the tattoo on the mysterious robber. They needed to be sure they weren't blaming the wrong person because the tattoo EZ described belonged to a strong Samoan gang. The Mayans had to catch one of the Samoan gang members to avoid getting targeted by Miguel. Bishop then asks Marcus if they can get help from Packer, the leader of the Sons of Anarchy. After confirming the help, Bishop ends the meeting. One day, a man comes to the shop owned by EZ's father, Felipe, to deliver a package and a message from EZ. Meanwhile, the Mayans members go to a cemetery to confront the Samoan gang. They pressure Alpha, the leader of the Samoan gang, to return the goods that were stolen from the Mayans. They warn him that if he doesn't give the goods back, the Galindo cartel will send soldiers to destroy the Samoan gang. Even with the threat, Alpha isn't scared and orders his men to surround the Mayans with weapons. A gunfight breaks out, but thanks to El Koko, a sharpshooter, the Mayans manage to escape. At the same time, the Sons of Anarchy, led by Sam Dino, arrive to help the Mayans. With help, Alpha was captured and brought to Miguel. Alpha admitted that he got a call and message from someone giving him the location to rob the drugs guarded by the Mayans. Miguel's men also found a bag, like the one Gilly had, with some money inside. Scared of what Miguel might do, Alpha explained that he didn't know the stolen drugs belonged to the Galindo cartel. He also said that all the drugs were now with a young woman named Adelita. Even though Alpha told the truth, Miguel still ordered his men to hurt Alpha's arm. Right before this happened, Alpha mentioned something about the Mexican Diablo connected to the rebels called Los Alvadedos. Hearing this, Miguel ordered his men to capture Adelita and take back the stolen drugs. Afterward, EZ, the youngest member of the Mayans, was told to clean up the place. Soon after, a DEA agent named Kevin, who had made EZ become an informant, came to talk to EZ and asked for updates about the Mayans. There, EZ told him everything, including the recent robbery the Mayans went through. But that wasn't enough to clear EZ's name because he had killed a policeman. So, EZ had to keep working as an informant while also dealing with the demands of the motorcycle club. After meeting Kevin, EZ talks with his brother, Angel. Even though they're family, there's some tension between them. Angel has been in the Mayans much longer than EZ and feels jealous because EZ gets special attention from Bishop due to his intelligence and skills. Angel wants to trust EZ, but his jealousy and gut feeling make him start to doubt his brother. On top of that, Angel is secretly involved with Los Alvadedos. Even though Angel isn't happy with EZ being in the club, he still asks for permission to let EZ help with the club's problems because he knows EZ is smart and can be useful for secret missions. During a meeting, two members, Tazo and Hank, share that Los Alvadedos has been attacking the Galindo cartel, including stealing weapons. With all these attacks, Angel and the others are growing more curious about who is really behind the rebels. Sometime later, EZ and his friends went to a mountain where there were rebels guarding the area, led by Adelita. During their visit, EZ discovered that Angel, Gilly, and Koko were secretly part of the rebel group. Meanwhile, Emily is seen leaving with her son, not knowing that rebel members are following her. Back to Angel, he explained to EZ that he joined Los Alvadedos, who were working to take down the Galindo cartel. Angel didn't want to see the Mayan Motorcycle Club always being controlled by Miguel. At that time, the Mayans are stuck under Miguel's orders because of Marcus's close connection with Miguel's family. After hearing this, EZ agreed to join his brother's plan. Later, the rebel group stopped Emily's car, shot her bodyguard, and kidnapped her son. The next day, the members of the Mayan Motorcycle Club are told to find Louis, who is part of the Dogwood gang. However, when they get to Louis's house, they only find his son. At home, Emily begs Miguel to find their kidnapped child. Miguel promises to ask the Mayans for help in finding their baby, who was taken by a traitor group. Meanwhile, EZ and the others visit Gracie's dog shelter, looking for Louis. They discover that Louis had made Koko's little sister an adult video model. Koko is furious and wants to punish Louis. After capturing Louis, the Mayans force him to pay double the taxes he usually gives the club as punishment. It turns out, this was all a plan by the Mayans to make Louis obey their orders. Koko's sister was just pretending and playing along with Louis. Now, Louis is instructed to report to the Mayans if Adelita's group offers him illegal drugs. A little later, the Mayans were called by Miguel for a meeting. When they arrived, Miguel was with Devante, his business advisor, and Nestor, the head of security. There, Miguel explained that his son had been kidnapped by the Los Alvadedos rebel group. He asked the Mayans to help find his son. Nestor then gave details about the kidnapper's car and license plate before the meeting ended. On the other hand, EZ secretly told Angel about the kidnapper's car location because he was worried about Emily's son. Soon after, Miguel found out that the Los Alvadedos group was spreading a video about their fight against the cartel, which they saw as their main enemy. Later, Nestor reported to Miguel that a street vendor might be involved in the kidnapping of Miguel's son. The Mayans were called to witness the vendor's interrogation. During the questioning, the vendor claimed he didn't know anything about the kidnapping, but an angry Miguel ignored him and poured hot water on the vendor. When Miguel saw EZ whispering to Angel, he felt disrespected and demanded that EZ speak out loud. EZ then told him that if Miguel hadn't treated people so badly, he wouldn't have lost his son. This made Miguel furious, and it seemed like he was about to hit EZ, but Bishop stepped in to stop him. Still angry, Miguel planned to hurt the merchant's son. That's when Angel pretended to get a call saying someone had found the kidnapper's car. Bishop and his members promised Miguel they would find his son soon, so he wouldn't need to be violent anymore. Because of EZ's bravery, Bishop praised him. Later, Miguel's security team spotted the kidnapper's car and quickly followed it to Gracie's dog shelter. The Mayans also went there, trying to stop the Galindo cartel from hurting the women at the shelter. This led to a big fight between the two groups, using only their bare hands. The next day, Devante reported that the kidnapper's car was found abandoned on the side of the road, and the kidnappers likely switched to another vehicle heading to Mexico. Devante suggested that Miguel should stay focused on his business and let his men handle the search for his son, but Miguel refused, saying his son was too important to him. When Devante saw a photo of Miguel's brother, who died as a baby, he told Miguel that his mother, Dita, would explain the truth about his brother. When Dita entered the room, she shared that years ago, she and Miguel's father, Jose, received a call from Jose's partner, Eduardo Perez. Turns out, Eduardo had betrayed them by kidnapping Miguel's brother as part of a deal with the Sonora cartel. Jose was heartbroken by the loss, but 3 months later, Dita became pregnant with Miguel. Meanwhile, Angel is with Adelita, and during their conversation, Adelita tells Angel that Miguel's son is safe with them. Angel then shares with her that EZ used to have a relationship with Emily before he went to prison, and he still seems to care about her, just as Angel now loves Adelita. During their conversation, Angel, Adelita, and everyone at the headquarters were shocked when they saw 2 people being burned alive by the Galindo cartel as a threat to Adelita and her group. Meanwhile, Emily suddenly visits Felipe's shop to meet with EZ. From the way they look at each other, it's clear they still have feelings for one another. At that time, Emily came to ask about her son, and EZ tries to calm her down, assuring her that her son will be okay. Another day, Adelita is at her camp with several children her group is taken care of when she sees several cars approaching, looking like they are about to attack. Quickly, Adelita moves the children to safety and prepares weapons to defend against the enemy. At the same time, Nestor and his men are seen heading somewhere to carry out an attack. At Adelita's camp, it turns out the group of cars approaching is not Nestor, but Angel and his friends. Meanwhile, at the location Nestor visited, he only found a toy hanging with a skull doll that had the name Christopher written on it. Back at the camp, EZ holds Emily's son for a moment, while Angel tells Adelita that they found a man named Jimmy, who was planning to buy the narcotics that Adelita's group had stolen. Later, the leaders of the Mayan Motorcycle Club tell Miguel about their plan to meet with Chinese drug buyers at a casino. The Mayans' leaders want to make sure Miguel's business keeps running smoothly, even though their goods have been stolen by the rebels. At the same time, Nestor shows up and gives Miguel the skull doll he found at the rebels' hideout. The following day, Emily is watching the video released by the rebels again, feeling even more heartbroken because her son still hasn't been found. Meanwhile, Kevin, who is getting nervous about the chaos involving the Galindo cartel and the Mayans, is worried his mission might fail. So, he visits Felipe to make sure his identity as a DEA agent is still safe. Kevin also leaves a message for EZ, asking him to contact him soon. Elsewhere, EZ is climbing the tunnel stairs and suddenly remembers what happened 8 years ago. He recalls chasing someone and getting into a shootout where he accidentally shot an officer, leading to his time in prison. At the same time, Nestor and his men ambush a house where some young people are gathered. Nestor takes all of them away in a box truck. At the casino, Bishop and his men arrive to meet Chinese buyers for a drug deal. Since the buyers haven't arrived yet, they decide to relax and enjoy the casino's facilities while waiting. On the other hand, Angel secretly meets with Jimmy to offer the drugs stolen by Adelita without Bishop knowing. Jimmy is interested in buying them, but only if Angel can deliver the drugs to Vegas. Inside the casino, a visitor named Crowell teased the Mayans group, calling them thugs in Spanish. EZ asked a waitress about Crowell and learned that he is a corrupt local policeman who often comes to the casino to demand money. As EZ was about to leave, Crowell tried to provoke him, but EZ managed to keep his cool and avoid a public fight. At home, Emily told Dita that she planned to visit the city park, the place shown in her son's video, because she wanted to find him as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Miguel cut the hand of a young man captured by Nestor, smearing the blood on his own face. Miguel did this as a sign that the young man was now part of the Galindo cartel. Shortly after, the young man was released because Miguel intended to use him and his group as informants for the cartel. Shortly after, Bishop and his men meet with two corrupt officials, Lanny and Gabe, who are going to help them smuggle drugs. After that, they have a meeting with the Chinese mafia to discuss the sale of the narcotics package that Bishop is offering. Moments later, Adelita, along with her group, arrives at the city park where Emily and Dita are also present. At the park, a little girl named Little Mouse, who Adelita takes care of, is sitting with a boy named Andreas, who looks sad. Back at the meeting, the Mayans, representing the Galindo cartel, start negotiating with the Chinese mafia about delivering the illegal drugs as soon as possible. In the park, Little Mouse asks Adelita to take Andreas home because his parents were burned alive by the Galindo cartel. Adelita agrees and signals Andreas to come with her. After Lanny and Gabe leave, a drug buyer named Young invites the Mayans members for a toast. Suddenly, Jimmy is shot dead by Young, who considers him a traitor. Young had discovered that Jimmy was trying to run a drug business on his own without telling him. At that time, Angel, EZ, and their friends start to worry that their own secret betrayal might be found out too. Later that night, Felipe reopens his weapon box, just in case. At the casino, Hank, on the way back to the base with the group, asks Bishop for permission to let EZ teach the police officer, who mocked them, a lesson. After getting permission, EZ beats the officer, who reminds him of the time he accidentally killed a policeman years ago. Meanwhile, Felipe points his gun at Santiago Martin, Kevin's colleague from the DEA, who has come to Felipe's house. Santiago tells Felipe that he's not just there to discuss the tasks EZ needs to do for the DEA, but also to talk about how the Galindo cartel is sending men to the border for a fight. When EZ got home, he was seen counting the money he earned from the motorcycle club. Meanwhile, Marcus, talking with Bishop, shares his suspicion that one of their members might betray them by leaking the delivery schedule for the illegal drugs ordered by the Chinese mafia. At the camp, Adelita gives food to Andreas. During this, it's noticed that Andreas has a cut on his palm. Just like the one Miguel made on the young man, he turned into an informant for his cartel. A few days later, at a brothel near the Mayans' headquarters, 3 snipers were aiming at their targets, causing chaos. At that time, a policeman named Frankie, who was with the Mayans members, noticed the mysterious attack and went to check it out. Unfortunately, the shooters escaped before he could catch them. In the morning, Mayor Antonia arrived at the scene of the shooting, followed by the Mayans members. The victim was the 5th person shot in less than 6 months. After investigating, the police found out the victim was shot from a distance with a military-grade weapon, which made them even more curious about who the shooter was. They also discovered the victim was a Mexican involved in smuggling drugs. Meanwhile, Marcus tells EZ that in America, blood-related members of the Mayan Motorcycle Club aren't allowed because it could cause loyalty issues if problems arise. At the same time, Koko secretly receives a letter from a woman, which he tries to hide from his fellow Mayans. Later, Felipe gets a message from Santiago, asking EZ to go to Alice's house, where Bishop suspects the shooters might be hiding. When EZ and his friends arrived at Alice's house, they saw a tall, muscular man with tattoos, whom EZ recognized from prison. This made EZ even more sure that Alice was involved in drug trafficking. To confirm this, after the man left, Bishop told his men to follow him. At the Los Olvidados camp, Andreas was secretly using a communication radio. But when Adelita saw him, Andreas claimed he was just playing hide and seek with his friends. Meanwhile, Miguel and Devante discussed plans to move their base closer to the border. Emily then showed them files about how terrorist organization infiltrated cities. Emily believed Los Olvidados might be doing something similar at the border. According to her, the group pretends to be a rescue group to recruit people, asking for donations and providing high-tech weapons. Emily also shared how Devante's tactics of using fear weren't liked by the public. She explained that changing public opinion was a smarter way to gain support. At the camp, Andreas pretended to borrow a phone and secretly recorded Adelita checking on Emily's son. Meanwhile, Angel and his friends get into a fight with a group of shooters at Alice's house. Koko steps in to help his friends, who are struggling against the enemies. At the same time, Miguel finally receives a video from Andreas showing the condition of his son. And Kevin's boss, Bowen, a DEA official, pushes Kevin to take action against EZ to help bring down the Galindo cartel by using Emily and her kidnapped son. If EZ refuses, Bowen threatens to send EZ back to prison. Before leaving, Bowen gives Kevin information about Emily that could convince her to help them. Later, Kevin meets with EZ and asks him to use Emily to complete the mission. EZ refuses, not wanting to put his ex-girlfriend in danger, even if it means he has to go back to prison. At a cafe, Koko meets with his mother and his younger sister, Letitia, who works as an entertainer. During their conversation, Koko reveals a shocking secret that Letitia isn't his sister, but his daughter. This news leaves Letitia stunned, and she decides to leave the cafe. Outside the cafe, Chucky, whose finger was cut off by Miguel's men, happens to witness the scene. Meanwhile, Kevin meets Felipe and shows him proof that Felipe isn't EZ's biological father. Kevin then threatens to tell EZ the truth and arrest Felipe for threatening DEA agents unless Felipe helps convince EZ to complete his mission using Emily. Later that night, the Mayans group prepares their weapons and surrounds the house where the shooters are hiding. Suddenly, Danny, who is Alice's son, launches an attack. Angel and EZ quickly chase after him as he tries to escape, while Bishop and the other members enter the house, only to find that everyone inside has been killed. After Danny was caught, he admitted that he thought the Mayans were responsible for killing his family, which is why he attacked them. However, it turned out the real killer was a man named Cole. But there, Angel ignored Danny's words and, without hesitation, shot him. Danny had been involved in the shooting at the border, targeting a smuggler carrying Miguel's drugs. EZ then cut off Danny's finger to unlock his phone. At home, Felipe looked through old documents, revealing secrets from his past, including the true origins of his two sons. Meanwhile, EZ and Gilly were digging a grave for Danny when they accidentally fell into a hidden tunnel used for smuggling drugs across the border. In the town square, Miguel and Emily were attending an event with many other residents. During the party, chaos broke out when a nun was found murdered in a nearby church. The church walls had rebel symbols written on them. Emily tried to escape into the church, but in the panic, she was trampled by the crowd and lost consciousness. When EZ heard about Emily's condition, he rushed to the hospital to check on her. However, Frankie stopped him because Emily was with Miguel and his bodyguards. Soon after, Frankie and Dr. Rita helped EZ meet with Emily. She admitted it was her own fault for getting caught in the crowd. Emily then told EZ about the rumors spreading that the rebels had killed the nun. EZ found this strange because the nun community had been supporting the rebellion against the cartels. When Emily asked about her missing son, EZ pretended that he hadn't heard anything. At home, Angel sensed an intruder and prepared to confront them. He discovered it was Cole, who had brought Alice's severed head and her entire family, who knew too much about Cole's business. Cole offered Angel a deal, and Angel eventually agreed to work with him. Meanwhile, it turned out that the nun's murder was part of a plan by Miguel and his men to blame the rebels. Miguel hoped this plan would make people see him as a hero, rather than the cruel dictator he had been. Later, Nestor told Miguel that he saw EZ leaving Emily's hospital room, and Felipe, knowing his son's problems, advised EZ to be honest with Emily. On the other hand, Angel told Gilly and Koko about Cole's visit. Cole, a former Special Forces member now involved in drug dealing, asked Angel to help smuggle his friend, an Afghan citizen, into America. Angel agreed to help. Miguel later met EZ at the border and confronted him about visiting Emily. Though caught, EZ didn't deny it. Miguel then talked about his business plans to control the U.S.-Mexico black market. He warned EZ to stay away from Emily or face consequences. At the Mayans' headquarters, Marcus told Bishop and the others that Miguel ordered them to hunt down Adelita. Miguel even sent a photo of Adelita that Andreas had secretly taken. In the tunnel, Angel warned EZ not to act aggressively because they were close to bringing down the Galindo cartel. Meanwhile, a priest named Rodrigo, who supports Adelita's movement, began to worry. He felt the rebellion was in danger of falling apart because public trust in the group was declining, especially with the threats from Miguel. However, Adelita was not afraid of Miguel or the Galindo cartel, who had killed her family in front of her when she was a child. This loss fueled her desire for revenge against Miguel's drug cartel. Back in the tunnel, Angel and EZ planned to help Cole's friend escape to America, but they were attacked by corrupt Mexican authorities. The police commander demanded a ransom of $100,000 and threatened to kill them all if they didn't pay immediately. Angel quickly contacted Koko for help. On the other hand, Chucky met with Bishop and reported that Koko was seeing a young woman. Chucky didn't know who she was, so Bishop ordered Hank to keep an eye on Koko. At a bar, Felipe catches up with an old friend, chatting about all sorts of topics. Meanwhile, EZ and Koko meet with Adelita to rescue Angel and Cole's friend from corrupt police officers. EZ suggests giving some of Adelita's drugs to bribe the police. Adelita agrees to help free Angel after hearing this. At the hospital, Devontae meets Emily, who is about to be discharged. He urges her not to weaken Miguel, who is known for being cruel. Emily explains that she just wants to help her husband become a better person for their son. At the same time, Adelita and EZ arrive at the house where the Mexican police are holding Angel hostage. They notice a group of young men hanging around the house. Once they reach the location, Adelita and the others try to negotiate for Angel and Cole's friend's release. On the other hand, Hank realized he had lost track of Koko and needed to report this to Bishop right away. While he was on the phone, Gilly accidentally overheard his conversation with Bishop. At the corrupt police's house, the police received a package of drugs from Adelita, but they refused to let her go because she was a fugitive. Just then, Adelita's rebel troops attacked the corrupt police and took care of the situation. When Cole learned that his friend had successfully entered America, thanks to Angel, he was thrilled. Because of this, Cole decided to buy the drug packages that Angel had offered him earlier for $50,000 each. Meanwhile, Felipe, sitting in his car, secretly took pictures of a woman and her 2 children as they headed somewhere. That night, Antonia complained to Bishop that Miguel had forced her to falsify zoning documents to benefit the cartel. Bishop promised to protect her from becoming a victim of Miguel's cruelty. Back at the Mayans' base, Bishop assigned Taza and Hank to keep an eye on Koko and Angel, as they seemed suspicious. Meanwhile, Emily met with EZ and confessed that she had aborted their child while EZ was in prison. Their conversation was suddenly interrupted when Angel appeared and overheard Emily's story by accident. Later, Felipe met with his friend again at the bar, and it was revealed that this man was Kevin's father. Felipe showed documents proving that he had worked as an inspector in the Mexican Federal Police's anti-drug division in the 1980s. Felipe warned the man to tell Kevin to stop bothering his son. If Kevin didn't back off, Felipe threatened to target Kevin's wife and child, who he had secretly photographed earlier. One day, Adelita and her friend Pablo were at the camp, checking the list of people who had donated to their rebel group. Meanwhile, Angel, Koko, and EZ were on their way to the rebel camp to deliver the down payment for a drug deal they had made. EZ was worried that the Galindo cartel might find the rebel camp, even though its location kept changing. At the camp, Adelita wrote down the camp's coordinates on a piece of paper to give to her followers, not realizing that Andreas was secretly reading it. When Angel arrived at the camp, he handed over the money from the drug sale and asked Adelita to explain more about the Los Olvidados group's plans. He wanted his friends to trust that the group could protect them by weakening the cartel's power. After sharing some of her plans, Adelita revealed her true identity to Angel, telling him her real name was Luisa Spina. At the Mayans' base, Hank reported to Bishop that Taza and Riz were escorting goods to Vegas with 4 bodyguards from the Galindo cartel. Bishop then asked Hank to keep an eye on Angel and Koko to make sure there were no traitors in the motorcycle club. Hank also mentioned his plan to take Koko to the copper auction in Brawley to meet Benny. Meanwhile, Adelita took the children to the market, and Andreas secretly used a payphone to call Miguel, telling him the location of the Los Olvidados camp. At the market, Adelita, with her face disguised, entrusted a package to a traitor. Back at the base, Koko was surprised to see Letitia at the motorcycle club. Koko finally opened up to EZ and the others, revealing that Letitia is actually his daughter. EZ and his friends were shocked because Koko had never mentioned this before. Since Koko was going with Hank to the copper auction, he decided to leave Letitia in EZ's care. After Koko left, Letitia showed EZ a body in the trunk of her grandmother's car. It was a container driver, and Letitia explained that she had tied him up because he accused her of stealing after she had served him. EZ agreed to help Letitia get rid of the evidence in the truck. On the other hand, Felipe meets Kevin at a cafe, where Kevin apologizes for threatening Felipe's family earlier. Despite the apology, Kevin still hopes EZ will continue helping expose the crimes of the Galindo cartel because Kevin is under pressure from the prosecutor's office. Felipe explains that EZ doesn't want to hurt Emily again, so his decision to keep her out of it will be hard to change. At Miguel's house, Nestor tells Miguel that Andreas has provided the location of the rebel camp. Nestor urges Miguel to act quickly before the Los Olvidados group disappears again. At the same time, Adelita contacts Miguel and demands a ransom of 7 million pesos in cryptocurrency to be sent to her digital wallet. She tells Miguel to come to the Mexican border at 4 p.m., and after receiving the money, she will reveal the exact location of his son. After the call, Miguel orders Nestor to prepare the money because he wants his son back. Nestor agrees, but also plans to attack the rebel base, even though Adelita will hand over Miguel's son later. Back to EZ and Leticia, they arrive at the location of the parked truck. EZ notices a car with a white cat sticker, reminding him of the same sticker he saw on a car leaving his house the day his mother was murdered. As EZ prepares to move the truck, two men approach, accusing him of trying to steal it, and a fight breaks out. In the middle of the fight, Leticia suddenly shows up and stabs one of the men in the back with a screwdriver. Not wanting to make things worse, EZ and Leticia quickly leave. Soon after, EZ contacts Angel for help because their fingerprints are on the truck, which could get them arrested for assault. Angel takes Leticia, while EZ drives her grandmother's car, which contains the truck driver's body. While driving, EZ is stopped by the police, forcing him to flee before they find the body. During his escape, EZ recalls the event from 8 years ago when he chased the car of his mother's killer. Now, with 2 police cars chasing him, EZ turns into a field and pours water over the car to erase his fingerprints before managing to escape. On another day, Miguel went alone to the Mexican border, following Adelita's instructions. Back at the Mayans' base, Koko thanked EZ for helping his daughter, Leticia. Koko and Leticia agreed to rebuild their father-daughter relationship from the beginning, but Koko asked Leticia to stop working as an entertainer. During their conversation, Bishop and Hank showed up and asked Chucky about Leticia, thinking she might be Adelita. EZ, who was in the bathroom, overheard their questions and realized Bishop was starting to suspect Koko. Chucky explained that Leticia was very important to Koko. Meanwhile, Felipe and Kevin were talking about Felipe's past, and Felipe showed Kevin a photo of his old colleague named Espina, and it's the same name as Adelita's real name. At the border, after being contacted by Adelita, Miguel finally got his son back. Meanwhile, Devante, who was watching Miguel from a distance, called Nestor to launch an attack on the rebel headquarters. Suddenly, border officers approached Miguel, and Emily, watching from behind a fence, was powerless to help. Unexpectedly, the police found narcotics hidden under Miguel's son's blanket, leading to Miguel's arrest. At the same time, Nestor and his troops arrived at the location Andreas had provided. And Adelita, watching the camp from the roof of a building, realized that Andreas was a traitor, not a victim of the Galindo cartel. In response, Adelita pushed Andreas off the roof, killing him. Back at the Mayans' headquarters, EZ told Angel that Bishop was starting to suspect Koko of being a traitor and working with Adelita. Meanwhile, the rebel camp was burned down, but Adelita and her followers managed to escape before Nestor and his men arrived, keeping them safe. Miguel, however, was stuck in prison, accused of being a drug smuggler. Around the Mayans' headquarters, a mysterious man was seen watching the motorcycle club from a distance. A little later, Angel went to see Bishop, Hank, and Taza to explain what had happened the previous week when he and his friends were chasing Danny. Angel told them that Gilly accidentally fell into an active tunnel connecting Alice's house to the Mexican border. After hearing this, Bishop told Angel and the others to keep the discovery a secret. Angel's mission was successful because he managed to distract Bishop, who had been focused on finding a traitor within the motorcycle club. Not long after, Angel received a message from Adelita asking for help. Without delay, Angel, with EZ's help, took Adelita across the border into the U.S. On the way, they talked about Felipe. Back at the base, Angel, Gilly, and Koko began planning ways to avoid being suspected as traitors. Soon after, Bishop held a meeting about the news of Miguel being imprisoned. He assigned Riz to stay at the base and be ready for any information from the Galindo cartel, while the rest continued their usual business. After the meeting, Bishop and Hank were surprised to see Letitia still at the headquarters. Soon after, Koko introduced Letitia as his daughter to the Mayan Motorcycle Club members, which made Bishop feel relieved, as his suspicions were not confirmed. At Felipe's house, he was shocked when Adelita arrived, pointing a gun and showing a photo that matched one Felipe had. Adelita revealed that her parents had been massacred by the cartel, along with her baby sister. Felipe realized Adelita was the daughter of his former partner. Adelita accused Felipe of betraying her father by giving away their hiding location to the Galindo cartel. Felipe denied this and showed her evidence to prove his innocence. On the other hand, Bowen plans to move Kevin to another city because he believes Kevin's mission to expose the Galindo cartel has failed. Bowen also plans to put EZ on the wanted list so the local police can arrest him. Kevin is shocked because this could reveal EZ's status as an informant, which would lead the Mayan Motorcycle Club to kill him. After showing Felipe's photo, Adelita starts to believe that Felipe didn't betray her father. Felipe suspects the real betrayer was another colleague named Rodrigo, as the three of them were always together. Adelita is shocked to hear this because Rodrigo is a priest she has trusted for a long time. Realizing she had been wrong, Adelita apologizes to Felipe and leaves. While EZ and the Mayans are doing a weapons deal with a group of gangsters, Kevin calls EZ to warn him that he is now a fugitive. EZ then tells Kevin that Miguel is being held at the border post. In prison, a thug picks a fight with Miguel, not knowing that Miguel is the leader of a cartel. Miguel quickly beats the thug, leaving him helpless. Meanwhile, Kevin burst into the room where Bowen was meeting with the FBI and informed them that Miguel was being held at the border post. Everyone was shocked, and the meeting leader, Lincoln, decided to cancel EZ's fugitive status. Switching to Miguel, who was taken into a private room by officers, he was visited by Adelita. She reminded him that the Galindo cartel had killed her family, and now she wanted revenge. However, instead of killing Miguel, Adelita planned to destroy the Galindo cartel's businesses, which were his main source of income. Even though Adelita had already destroyed several of his businesses, Miguel remained calm. To pressure him, Adelita showed photos of all his businesses on her laptop and threatened to blow them up. She gave Miguel a choice: either let his businesses be destroyed or agree to work with her, using the business income to support a better future for abandoned children. Adelita claimed that Los Olvidados had 2,000 followers, with the number growing every day, making it impossible for Miguel to betray her. Left with no other option, Miguel agreed to work with her. Before leaving, Adelita revealed her real name and asked Miguel to find an honest third party to help maintain their trust. Back at the Mayans base, EZ's release surprised the other members of the motorcycle club. While EZ's bravery was impressive, Bishop believed his actions were wrong. Soon after, Letitia arrived at the base, injured, and said that her grandmother had beaten her. Hearing this, Koko rushed to his mother's house. At home, Miguel, now free, felt relieved that his son was safe. Emily was also overjoyed to finally be reunited with her son. Meanwhile, Riz was caught by Bishop and other members while he was smuggling people through the tunnel. At the same time, Koko, furious with Cecilia, became so angry that he was determined to kill his mother. Back at Felipe's house, EZ arrives home but can't find his father. Instead, he discovers a box containing Felipe's birth certificate and old photos. At the Mayans base, Riz explains that he used the tunnel to help his girls, not for any illegal activity. However, the tunnel itself is illegal and could cause trouble for the motorcycle club. Meanwhile, Emily is shocked when FBI agents suddenly show up at her house and arrest Miguel and his men. At the church, Felipe meets with Rodrigo and they talk about Adelita's father, Pedro. At that time, Rodrigo calls Pedro greedy for working with the Galindo cartel, which eventually led to Pedro and his family being executed by the cartel. Felipe warns Rodrigo to be careful, reminding him that Adelita, Pedro's eldest daughter, is still alive and might seek revenge against Rodrigo for betraying her father. Back at the Mayans' headquarters, Letitia, worried because her father hasn't returned, asks EZ to take her to her grandmother's house. She wants to check if Cecilia is okay and admits that her injury was actually her own fault. At the FBI office, Lincoln meets with Miguel, who is frustrated because Emily was also arrested for not reporting their son's kidnapping. Meanwhile, EZ arrives at Cecilia's house and is shocked to find that Koko has killed Cecilia. Koko, showing no regret, believes it was the only way to solve his family's problems. Shortly after, EZ gets a call from Angel asking him to tell Koko to return to the headquarters. Koko leaves his mother's body with EZ, planning to bury her later that night. On the other hand, Santiago informs Kevin about Miguel's arrest by Lincoln and the Department of Justice, who are trying to clean up the mess in Mexico. Kevin feels uneasy, worried that this could expose EZ's role as a DEA informant. After interrogating Miguel, Lincoln tells his team that they don't have enough evidence to charge Emily and Miguel. The team agrees to push Emily and Miguel to work with the FBI as partners. Later, Lincoln meets with Miguel and tells him that the FBI has discovered the Los Olvidados group was responsible for blowing up Miguel's drug factory. Lincoln sees the rebels as more dangerous than the cartel and asks Miguel to help the FBI take them down. However, Miguel refuses because he had already promised to partner with Adelita. In addition to meeting with Miguel, Lincoln also visits Emily, trying to convince her to cooperate with the FBI against Miguel. During their conversation, Lincoln brings up Emily's past abortion. Meanwhile, Kevin is furious with Bowen and Lincoln for arresting Miguel, as it could put EZ in danger. After leaving the DEA and FBI officials, Kevin heads to Felipe's house, where Felipe calls EZ, telling him there's important information he needs to know. At the Mayans' headquarters, the members hold a meeting and decide that the motorcycle club will take 10% of the revenue from the tunnel Riz had been using. Riz disagrees and storms out, running into Angel. Riz accuses Angel of tricking him into using the tunnel, but Angel defends himself, saying Riz made things worse by complaining to Bishop without talking to him first. On the other hand, Kevin suggests that EZ leave the country and assume a new identity to avoid being targeted by the Mayans. However, EZ refuses, worried that his brother Angel will also be in danger if he leaves. At the FBI office, Lincoln meets with Emily again and gives her a list of Miguel's crimes. He also threatens that the FBI will take custody of her son, claiming she is negligent and unable to properly care for him. Later, Lincoln meets with Miguel, forcing him to sign a cooperation agreement with the FBI. Miguel agrees because he doesn't want Emily to face charges for their son's kidnapping, and he wants to avoid his son ending up in the hands of the FBI. In her office, Emily reads the file Lincoln gave her and discovers that EZ has been working as a secret informant for the DEA. At the Mayans' headquarters, Marcus and the other members gather to discuss how Miguel's arrest will impact their motorcycle club's survival. Meanwhile, EZ's identity as a DEA informant has not been revealed, allowing him to continue his role in the Mayans. At that time, Felipe and Kevin also feel relieved that EZ's secret identity is still safe. On the other hand, Angel and Riz, who were still arguing, decided to have a free fight to settle their issues. After both were badly hurt, Bishop stepped in and stopped the fight between his two members. After making a deal with the FBI, Miguel and Emily were seen returning home with their baby. Meanwhile, Rodrigo informed Nestor about a death threat from Adelita, who was planning to target Rodrigo. That night, EZ and Angel took Cecilia's body to the desert to bury it. On the way, their car was suddenly stopped by Frankie and other police officers. The police discovered the body in the trunk, leading to EZ and Angel being arrested. The next day, Lincoln visited the brothers and introduced himself as an assistant to the U.S. attorney. He told them that if EZ didn't want his identity as a DEA informant to be exposed, they would need to cooperate. Lincoln also promised to release them if they agreed to his offer. With no other option, EZ and Angel were forced to agree to Lincoln's request. On the way home, Angel demanded that EZ explain what was really going on. Angel even ended up hitting his younger brother for hiding the fact that he was working as a DEA informant. The next morning, EZ tried to find Angel, who was with Koko. Since he couldn't find Angel, EZ chatted with Koko, who revealed that he had been a Marine during the Iraq War, which explained his excellent shooting skills. When Koko showed EZ one of his guns, EZ asked to borrow it, saying he wanted to hunt down the person who killed his mother, the same person who drove a car with a white cat sticker. At home, Angel confronted Felipe, expressing his disappointment that Felipe hadn't told him about EZ's deal with the DEA. Angel was also upset that he got dragged into EZ's deal with Lincoln, who was trying to use them to get to Galindo. When Felipe mentioned the connection to border and rebellion issues, Angel realized that Lincoln's real target was Adelita's group. At his home, Miguel tells Devante about his deal with Lincoln, which Miguel thinks will harm all of the cartel's illegal businesses. Even so, Miguel says he will continue working with Adelita's group. Devante disagrees with Miguel's decision to play both sides, but Miguel doesn't seem to care. Devante then says he'll help Miguel convince the Mayans and their buyers that the Galindo cartel is not in trouble with the FBI. Meanwhile, Angel goes to the rebel camp to deliver important information to Adelita, but the camp has moved and she doesn't answer his calls. It turns out Adelita went to meet Rodrigo to talk about her family's death, caused by the priest's actions. During their conversation, Nestor arrives and asks Adelita to leave. When Angel returns to the motorcycle club headquarters, he tells Koko and Gilly about the rebel camp's mysterious movements. They worry it might have something to do with the Galindo cartel. Shortly after, the three of them are called to attend a meeting because the Galindo cartel is meeting with the Mayan Motorcycle Club members. In the meeting, Miguel explained everything that had happened to him, including his arrest, intimidation, and pressure from the FBI and the prosecutor's office. He also revealed that he had secretly invited Adelita, without Devante knowing, to discuss their plans. Miguel confirmed his partnership with Los Alvadedos, with the Mayans acting as mediators to ensure both sides remained honest and worked together to build their business for mutual benefit. After Emily shared the cooperation documents for everyone to read, EZ took the papers and destroyed them. During the meeting, Angel and his team pretended that they had just met Adelita for the first time, so Bishop wouldn't become suspicious of them. Meanwhile, Emily secretly met with EZ, knowing that he was a DEA informant. She asked him not to endanger her family anymore. After the meeting, Miguel walked Adelita to the front of the house, with Devante by his side. Miguel told Devante about Adelita's family, who used to work for his father. They were executed by Devante after Rodrigo gave him their location because they wanted to leave the cartel. As part of his agreement with Adelita, Miguel handed Devante over to be executed as revenge for her family's death. In addition to Devante, Rodrigo had already been hanged in the church. Meanwhile, Angel forgave EZ and agreed to keep his secret, but only if EZ left the Mayans and moved out of town. During their conversation, they suddenly received a message from Lincoln, instructing them to kill Kevin. Miguel later told Dita that he had killed Devante because of his past mistakes. EZ then met with Felipe to talk about Lincoln's order. Despite Kevin being his cousin, EZ planned to follow through with the task to protect his secret identity and avoid prison for him and Angel. There, Felipe urged EZ to wait for news from him before going through with the plan. On the other hand, Bowen, the DEA leader, visits headquarters to meet with Lincoln because Bowen can access the data about EZ's deal with Agent Kevin. At the same time, Felipe calls Kevin, asking him to come to his shop. At the Mayan Motorcycle Club headquarters, Marcus speaks to all the members, saying that the club's partnership with the Galindo and Los Alvadedos cartels is a smart move. This alliance will strengthen their business position since they have the backing of two powerful groups. Marcus also mentions that he is still maintaining a good relationship with Jack from the Sons of Anarchy, and he wants the Mayans to set up a business connection between the Galindo and Esue cartels. At his shop, Felipe talks with Kevin in the back room. During their conversation, Felipe secretly takes his gun, planning to shoot Kevin, but in the end, he can't bring himself to do it and changes his mind. After Kevin leaves, Angel arrives to ask Felipe for Kevin's home address because he intends to kill Kevin to protect EZ. Although Felipe doesn't give him the address, Angel eventually gets it from Lincoln. EZ also receives the address, and both brothers head to Kevin's location together. When Angel arrived at Kevin's house, he pointed his gun at Kevin. At that moment, Bowen also arrived and saw Angel about to kill Kevin. At that time, Bowen tried to help his subordinate, but his actions led to his own death at Angel's hands. Kevin also died, shot by EZ, who had no choice but to kill his cousin. Even though Bowen was also a victim, Lincoln, who later met with Angel and EZ, said he had no problem with what happened. He then assigned both of them to clean up the crime scene and bury the bodies. Later, Angel urged EZ again to leave the motorcycle club and get out of the city for his own safety. After their talk, Angel visited the new camp where Adelita and her followers were staying. Soon after, Adelita asked Angel to stay the night, but since it was his last day with EZ, Angel declined her offer. Meanwhile, EZ met with Lincoln and showed him photo evidence that he had buried Bowen and Kevin's bodies. After seeing the proof, Lincoln contacted headquarters to erase all of EZ's crime data from the system. The night before the party at the Mayans' headquarters, EZ meets with Bishop to tell him that he plans to resign from the club. Not long after, Felipe arrives, called by Angel to help EZ pack his things, as EZ is now cleared of any criminal records. Later, two representatives from the Sons of Anarchy, invited by Marcus, also arrive at the Mayans' headquarters and join the party. During the party, Marcus suddenly takes off his vest, while EZ is seen putting his Mayans vest back on and joining Angel at the headquarters. It turns out that EZ did not resign from the Mayans, but instead asked Bishop to create special rules for both him and Angel, who were brothers and members of the club. Meanwhile, Marcus was appointed by Miguel to be his personal advisor due to Marcus's past close relationship with Miguel's father. Back at the Mayans' headquarters, EZ explained that he didn't want to run away from his problems or leave the motorcycle club. He was ready to face all the risks that came with his life. In the final moments of the series, EZ recalls the time when he chased his mother's killer and accidentally killed a police officer. It turns out that EZ had seen the face of the person responsible for his mother's death, and that person was a member of the Sons of Anarchy. The series ends. The moral lesson from this series is if you're in a motorcycle club, always keep a shovel handy, cause you never know when you'll need to bury your problems.